No, it doesn't.
Okay, now, here is chapter 47, verse 19.
Hold on. Before you move on. Yeah. So, clearly here, though, 1774, God saved him from sin.
Exactly. So, why would he need to save him?
Because he's a man.
Why would he even incline to compromise the pagans?
He's a man. He's not a...
so thank you for proving Jesus is better than Muhammad. Muhammad under his feet. Because Jesus never inclined for a second to compromise with unbelievers. So you just put Muhammad under Jesus' feet.
So far, Muhammad didn't sin so far.
You want to bet? Now I'm going to show you hadith because now you're tempting me. When he rapes people and murders them, that's not sin, right?
I mean, if he's fighting a pagan non-believer...
When he rapes a woman who's married and has your God justify it, that's not sin?
He never raped a woman.
You want to bet? Chapter 4, verse 24?
Chapter 4,
verse 24, where your God says to the jihadis, headed by Muhammad, when you take a captive woman who's married, you can have sex with her even if her husband is alive. That's called rape in everyone else's world except yours.
Yeah, but...
Now, before you get the but, because now I'm going to go after Muhammad. Hold on, wait. Calm down. I'm going to go after Muhammad now because I have to punish Muhammad because you're trying to defend him. So I apologize. The gloves are off.
Our prophet. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's under the feet of Jesus. Anyway. You're talking over me. I'm going to get rid of you now. I want to get you, send you to Blackstone because now you're animating. Now you're manifesting the genie that's possessing you. Listen to the argument because I'm going to show you your prophet was a pedophile, rapist, who's a sinner that your God threatened to kill. And he did die the way your God said he would die if he was a wicked, filthy sinner. Just be patient. Calm down. Here's another one. Now explain this away. 47:19. So know that there is no God save Allah, and ask forgiveness for thy sin and for believing men and believing women. So Muhammad has to ask forgiveness for his sin and the sins of his followers. So now lie to me and say that when he's asking for his forgiveness of his own sins, it's not because he sinned, because it says ask forgiveness for your sins and their sins. So do his followers sin?
You said, does his followers sin?
His followers, did they sin?
Of course they sinned.
So you just buried yourself because if they sin, that means he sinned in order for him to ask for forgiveness. Read it.
I am reading it.
Okay.
Forgiveness for your sin and for the believing men and believing women, and Allah knows of your movement and your resting place.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Did the believers around Muhammad, did they actually sin? No? You're going to say they're sinless too?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so they actually sinned?
I mean, we all sin.
Can you answer the question, Yasu? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about time of Muhammad. Did they actually sin?
I mean...
You have to think about it. I got to send you to the Blackstone.
By logic, yes, because everybody...
Okay. So that's why he has to pray, oh Allah, forgive them for their sins. That means he's not just make-believe prayer. They have sinned, and Allah's telling him, pray that they'll be forgiven for sins they committed. Allah, forgive them their sins, right?
He's saying that Allah, forgive me and the believers.
Did they actually sin for Allah to tell him, now pray that Allah will forgive them of their sins? Or is this make-believe?
If it's in the Quran, it's not make-believe.
So they did sin, right?
Of course they sinned.
So of course your prophet sinned. You see what you just did? Because he has to ask for his own sin.
But because God did this, that doesn't mean he sinned. I mean,
wait, let's go to your logic. Now, guys, listen to the logic. This is what happens when you follow Muhammad. So when Allah tells Muhammad, pray for the forgiveness of the sins of the believing men and women, that doesn't mean they actually sin. You just pray that they'll be forgiven for sins they didn't actually commit. No, you're not going anywhere. Yes. You just buried yourself. Because you just said they actually sinned. That means when he's praying that Allah forgives them of their sins, it's because of sins they committed. Well, when he prays that Allah forgives his sins, that means he must have committed actual sins like they did. You ain't going nowhere, buddy. This verse is staying right here.
Show me another one.
Okay, but be honest with the text, man.
No, it's saying, may Allah forgive his and the believer's sins.
And just like they sin, which means they need to be forgiven, he must have sinned. See? Common sense, man. Don't try hard to make him something he's not.
I mean,
he's not Jesus. Jesus is sinless in your Quran and the Bible. He's nowhere near Jesus. So I know you want him to be like Jesus. He can't. He
I
can't
believe Muhammad is greater than Jesus.
No, not according to the Quran. Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus.
That's not true.
You want to bet? You want me to prove it to you? In the Quran, who's the greatest woman Allah created?
Mary.
Say it again.
Mary.
Oh, so Jesus' mother is the greatest woman, and yet Muhammad is greater than Jesus. According to Sahih Muslim, where is Muhammad's mother?
Muhammad's mother died when he was sick.
Where is Amina? According to Sahih Muslim, I have the hadith right here.
What do you mean, where is she? She died.
Where is his mother and father? Your prophet said they're in hell.
Who said that?
Your prophet said his father's in hell, and when your prophet went to pray for his mother, Allah said, do not pray for her forgiveness.
Where does it say that?
I'm going to say it to you. So I'm going to now use the Quran to show that Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus, because you said he's greater than Jesus. He's not good enough to lick Jesus' sandals. But I'm going to show it to you from your Quran. I'm not even going to use the Bible. Let me get you the hadith. Okay? Your prophet was weeping because when he went to the grave of his mother, he asked Allah to forgive her, and he said, do not ask for her forgiveness. And then he told another man, my father, Abdullah, and your father are in hell. Okay, well, let me show it to you.
They probably were.
They what?
I said Muhammad's father probably was.
And what about his mother?
Possibly.
Okay, so wait. You just told me Muhammad is greater than Jesus, and yet Jesus' mother is the greatest woman that Allah created. Why?
Because she had this birth.
What does the birth have to do with Mary becoming the greatest of all women?
Without Jesus, Mary's not great.
Thank you. You just buried yourself. Yasu.
What do you mean?
In other words, because of Jesus, Mary became the greatest. Well, the only way she can be the greatest if he's the greatest. Thank you, Sue.
I see what you're saying.
Thank you. You got it now?
I see where you're coming from.
No, I used your logic. What was your logic? Your logic was?
Yeah, but Muhammad is greater.
Jesus made Mary the greatest woman, but Muhammad made his mother an inhabitant of hell. So Muhammad made his parents burn in hell. So let's go with your logic.
So his parents died by the time he was 6.
What does that got to do with anything? Why didn't Allah do for Muhammad what he did for Jesus?
Why? What he did for...
Here's the hadith. Why didn't Allah do for Muhammad what he did for Isa? Why didn't he make Amina a believer and the greatest of all women?
Because
what?
They lived in a pagan...
No, because according to your hadith, there were the Hunafa, like Waraka bin Nawfal. They knew the path because they knew about Christianity and Judaism. Don't give me that garbage. Doesn't work.
They're pagans.
Doesn't matter. Why didn't Allah guide her like he guided Waraka bin Nawfal to the right path? Because even before Muhammad, according to your Islamic tradition, the Hunafa, they were there before Muhammad and they were guided on the right deen and they renounced paganism. Why didn't your God do that for Amina like he did it for Jesus' mother? What?
Who's the Hunafa?
The Hunafa, Waraka bin Nawfal, Zayd ibn Amr, the people who found the correct deen before Muhammad. In your Bukhari, when Khadija wanted to confirm Muhammad wasn't demon-possessed, it says she took him to her cousin, Waraka bin Nawfal, who in the days of Jahiliyyah became a Christian and wrote the gospel, and he confirmed the Namus came to him. And it says in your tradition, there was a group of them, the Hunafa, who left the paganism of the Kaaba and followed the true deen. So why didn't Allah do that for Muhammad's mother?
What was the true deen?
Following the path of the prophets, not the idolatry of the pagans. I just explained it to you.
Yeah.
Answer the question. Why didn't he do that for Amina?
I don't know. That's a question you're going to have to...
Because Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus. Because I'm going to go by your logic, your words, and I'm going to show you the hadith. Let's go by your words.
The only reason why I say Jesus is lesser than Muhammad is for 2 things. We believe Muhammad is the most beloved to God. That's one.
That's a lie from the pit of hell.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what we believe. And the second thing is Prophet Muhammad is actually going to be the only prophet out of all the prophets to take away from our bad deeds, or not take away from our bad deeds.
That's a lie from the pit of hell. Just because you think he told you that means nothing, because what I'm showing you is Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus from the Quran. Now, let me show you here. Here's the hadith, Muslim. Just listen. Be patient, man. Because you said Muhammad is greater than Jesus. which is the most blasphemous thing you can say in light of the way he lived. But let's go with here. Sahih Muslim, I gave you the link. Abu Hurairah reported, the apostle of Allah visited the grave of his mother and he wept. And he wept and moved others around him to tears and said, I sought permission from my Lord to beg forgiveness of her, but it was not granted to me. I begged Allah, oh Allah, forgive my mother. He said no. And this is the most beloved to Allah, making him cry at the fact that his mother died and he didn't forgive her. And I sought permission to visit her grave, and it was granted to me. So visit the graves, for that makes you mindful of death. This is Sahih Muslim. Here's the link. I'm going to show it to you. So I want to repeat your words. It's recorded. The reason why Mary's the greatest is because Jesus made her great. Well, if she's the greatest woman, because Jesus, that means he must be the greatest man. But your prophet Muhammad couldn't even make his parents great because they're in hell. According to Bukhari, here, and Muslim. Here's Muslim. There it is. Click on it.
He was a kid when they died.
Buddy, you don't get it. Let me repeat it again. Maybe it's not clear the first 10 times. So what? He could have guided Amina and Abdullah to be God-fearing hunafa. He could have saved them out of paganism like he did Waraqah bin Nawfal before your prophet became a prophet. Why did he do that for them? Yeah, you have no answer. It's okay. Because Muhammad is nothing in comparison to Jesus. But now let me show you where his father is. You want to see where his father is?
Who's?
Muhammad's father. Here you go. Muhammad's father. Here you go. This is the link right there. I'm going to put it in private chat. This is from Muslim website, not mine. It's Sahih Muslim. Sahih Muslim again. Sahih. And I'm going to play Sheikh Asim al-Hakim. Sheikh Asim al-Hakim about Muhammad's parents being in hell. He's a Salafi Muslim who loves Muhammad. I'm going to play him now. Just hold on. Anas reported, verily a person said, Messenger of Allah, where is my father? He said, he is in the fire. When he turned away, he called him and said, verily my father and your father are in the fire. So Muhammad said, my father is in hell and my mother is in hell. Now, can I play Sheikh Asim al-Hakim saying your prophet's parents are in hell and they had no excuse because they knew about the true deen?
Yeah, no. I mean, that's...
Can I play him, though? I want to hear him.
Okay.
I like when he says it better than I say it because he does a good job.
I want to hear somebody else say it.
No, he's a Muslim. He's a Salafi. He's got a show where he answers questions. Here it is. He's not a joke. No. Asim, I want to play Hakim. Prophet, parents.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the...
But I want to hear it. Look, see, this patient's going to kill you. I want the Christians to hear one of your Muslim scholars admitting Muhammad's parents are in hell. Here it is. Are we ready? Here it goes.
Fourth question is, why are the parents of the Prophet ﷺ in hell? This question you do not ask me about.
Listen.
This question is something that the Prophet himself, alayhi salatu wassalam, told us about, and the hadith is in Sahih al-Imam Muslim.
Sorry.
His father is. A man came to him and said, O Prophet of Allah, where's my father? So the Prophet said, your father is in hell. How did the Prophet know? Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi. Because Allah told him. So the man did not feel well about the answer. The Prophet said to him, your father and my father are in hell. And in another hadith, the Prophet wept one day, alayhi salatu. So they asked him, why are you weeping? He said, I sought permission from Allah to seek forgiveness for my mother, and he denied me from seeking forgiveness for her. Which means that, in accordance to the ayah in Surah At-Tawbah, that the Prophet and the believers are not permitted to seek forgiveness for those who died on idol worshipping, even if they were next of kin. End of story. Now, this was the Prophet's fatwa, alayhi salatu wasalam, not mine, not Sheikh XYZ. It was from the Prophet himself, and it's not in a dubious book. It's in Sahih al-Imam Muslim, the most authentic book alongside with the Bukhari after the Quran. So why this is not our issue or problem. Because this is from Allah Azza wa Jal. It's a revelation. You can say that maybe because the people of Mecca had the religion of Ibrahim.
Did you hear it? He's now going to refute you. Listen to your scholar. They had no excuse to be idolaters because they knew the religion of Abraham. They could have embraced it. Listen, look what he's going to say. Listen, not me.
Why they were performing Hajj, they were doing Tawaf, and they had the original religion of Ibrahim of worshipping Allah on Tawheed. And his son Ismail was their forefather. And there was the religion of Judaism and Christianity, which they could have adopted anyone. So these religion of monotheism were there, but they failed to choose it. So those who failed to choose it would end up in hell. This might be a reason, I don't know. What I know is what the Prophet said to us, ﷺ, we have to believe and comply, and Allah knows.
So he just refuted your excuse. He said, they knew about the religion of Abraham. They could embrace it. And there was Judaism, Christianity. They could embrace it. They chose not to. And the fatwa of your prophet is his mother's in hell and his father's in hell. But Jesus' mother is the greatest woman your God created. It's that, and you're still trying to tell me Muhammad is greater than Jesus. God forbid such blasphemy. Now you want me to continue to show you why Jesus is better than Muhammad? From your Quran and Hadith, not from the Bible.
I wanted to find more sins about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So far, we really didn't see any sins.
Yeah, you saw it because he said, Allah told him, ask forgiveness for your sins. That means he actually committed sins, just like his followers committed sins, but you try to tap dance around that. But now I'm going to ask you, or now I'm going to show you that he was a sinner. Okay, I'm going to ask you. Now, because you're being recorded, anything you say, you're going to answer before the true God on the day of judgment, and it's recorded. Okay.
Right.
Now, I want you to be honest, because I'm going to show you why Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus. Don't be upset. Everyone's under the feet of Jesus.
Right.
Everybody. I'm under the feet of Jesus. You're under the feet of Jesus. Right. Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus because he's the son of God who's the Lord of creation. But here's what I'm going to ask you, and I want you to be honest. Even though you believe it's abrogated, if you were living at the time Muhammad, be honest with me. I don't want you to lie. Fear God because you believe you're going to stand before him. And Muhammad's companions came, or Muhammad came. Your mother's a widow, or your sister's not married, or your grandmother's not married. And they say, we're going to do muta. I'm going to marry your mother for 3 days and then divorce her and pay her. What do you call that? What do you call that?
That's prostitution.
You just called your prophet a prostitute because he allowed zawaj al-muta. Don't lie. Don't try to tap dance.
Look. So I did hear this in the Shia religion, but in the Sunni religion.
No, it's in the Sunnah. Your prophet in Bukhari and Muslim. I'm going to give you the hadiths based on Surah Al-Ma'idah 587. He allowed muta, then abrogated it. So I'm not saying you do it till this day. I'm saying at the time your prophet, when you, as a Sunni, believe he allowed it, then he canceled it later. So I'm not saying you do it today. That's why I asked you, if you're living at the time of your prophet and he had made it halal, acceptable, what do you call your prophet and his companions saying, go find a woman, marry her for 3 days, 2 days, doesn't matter, pay her and divorce her? You just called it prostitution. So you just called your prophet a prostitute.
You mean a pimp?
He's okay, let's be nice. A pimp. Okay, so you're okay with him being a pimp?
No, because he's not a pimp.
Oh, so you mean when they do that to someone's mother or sister, they're not treating her as a whore? Yeah, that's what I thought. How old is your daughter? God bless her, preserve her.
She's new.
No. Okay, I have a Sunni Muslim. He wants to arrange marriage with your daughter. He's around 50 years old. He wants to now write a contract with you that your daughter will be my wife, and when she's 9, I'm going to marry her and consummate the marriage. Yes or no?
2024, no.
But hold on. Your prophet is a role model, and the Sharia is for all time. Are you saying that's outdated?
Actually, did research In the 1800s in America, they allowed 10-year-olds to get married.
Last time I checked, America wasn't a prophet from God, but your prophet is, right?
No, that's true. But I'm just going with
symbolism.
symbolism.
Wait. So you're going to use the corrupt Sharia of the kuffar to justify the filth of your prophet. I thought your prophet's better.
I don't know. I'm just saying people thought it was normal even 200 years.
But didn't Allah know it's not normal? I thought Allah knows everything.
What do you mean He does know everything?
So did He not know it's not normal for a 54-year-old to sleep with a 9-year-old because physically, psychologically it'll damage her? So your God didn't know that?
I mean, it probably was normal back in the day. So,
but you didn't answer my question. You first said, well,
okay,
people thought it's normal. But I thought Allah knows everything. Hold on, buddy. Let me make my point because you're tap dancing.
Okay.
I thought Allah knows everything, and He knows the design of the body, and He knows for a young girl at 9, she is physically premature and psychologically premature to have a grown man, 54, old enough to be her grandfather, with an erect penis penetrating her. Did Allah know that or no?
Of course.
He knew that.
Okay.
And He allowed your prophet to do it. And He allows it in the Quran, 65 verse 4. And you still want to insult me and say this man's better than my Jesus?
How am I insulting?
God forbid, because you're telling me this man is greater than Jesus. God forbid the insult. You see why we Christians hate your prophet and we get angry? This man you're going to compare to Jesus.
Hate is a strong word.
No, it says, do I not hate those who hate you? Do you hate Satan or do you love Satan?
I hate Satan.
You hate what?
Satan.
Oh, but that's a strong word.
No, but that's Satan. Jesus teaches you.
Yeah, but then you have agents of, because your Quran says there are human shayateen. Chapter 6, verse 1 and 12.
But
you have even humans that are devils.
That's true, but according to Christians, it says not to fight flesh, but to fight the spirit.
Exactly, but we also rebuke and hate those who are giving themselves over to Satan instead of repenting. That's Psalm 139, 19 and 22.
Jesus doesn't teach that.
You want to bet He does? Now, don't change subject. Like how you ran. Good, let's run back. I like how you ran, the runner. Come back to the issue. So you just condemned your prophet for being a pimp, and you condemned him for doing something that Allah knew would damage the 9-year-old.
What do you mean it didn't damage her?
He left her a widow at the age of 18.
Aisha.
Did she have children with him?
No.
Was he able to get any of the other wives pregnant?
He got Khadija pregnant.
That's before, and even that's debatable, the Shia deny. But could he get her pregnant? Aisha.
Possibly.
Where? You mean what? The baby died? So Muhammad, you're telling me,
and she didn't.
A 9-year-old, couldn't get her pregnant, left her a widow at 18, so she couldn't marry and have children with anyone else, and she dies years later in her old age all by herself. And you're saying that didn't do any damage to her?
Time out, Uncle Sam. Hold on real quick.
Well, don't call me Uncle. Well, before you ask me, I want